Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a supernatural horror film, Gehenna, where death lives. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. On Saipan Island in the year 1670, the Aborigines ripped a European man's face off, sealed him into a cave. Then they separated a pair of dolls to validate the curse. In the present day, Paulina, a representative for a real estate developer in the US, visits Saipan for her company's new project. Traveling with her are the architecture consultant Tyler, the cameraman and two locals, the real estate broker wearing an angry mustache, and the tour guide. The superstitious Aborigines on the small island were often invaded by the intruders. Many were slaughtered by the Spanish colonists centuries ago, and then by the Japanese invaders during the Second World War. Paulina's project spot is the natives' forbidden land, on which they have protested against any development by the government. They themselves never enter this land, for they believe it is a land cursed. Of course, it sounds nonsense to Paulina and Tyler coming from the modern world. They won't bother to care about any superstition. For them, it's an ideal spot for the new project, which will bring them a big fortune. The land is fenced with barbed wire. On the gate hang many voodoo dolls, which resemble the curse. When they unlock the gate and enter the spot, they are stunned by the gorgeous seaside scenery. It is such a wonderful place for a high-end resort. They will make a big fortune for sure. Paulina asks the cameraman to shoot with a drone for the beautiful seashore. Later, they find two men in the grove. Coming near, they see they are the natives. The old one with a mask covering his face looks like a wizard. He recites a curse while holding a doll in his hand. After that, he throws the doll onto the ground, and they leave. Right there is the entrance to the bunker, which was built by the Japanese army during the Second World War. The angry mustache suggests to seal the entrance and not come in. But Taylor thinks that may cause structural problems to the future buildings. So they come through the entrance to survey the bunker. The cameraman picks up the doll, thrown by the old native at the entrance. It's a long, dank descent to the abandoned Japanese barracks. It seems nothing unusual, until they see a skeleton. And more skeletons are found. Paulina sees a female corpse which looks rather odd, as the corpse wore pants of the modern time. But women on Saipan Island during the Second World War period wore dresses. The guide hears some strange sound. Following the sound, they see a creepy walking skeleton. The creepy pushes the angry mustache and demands him to get out. When the angry mustache pushes back, the creepy falls to the ground, dying. His last words to the angry mustache are, "You must die. All is Paulina's fault." Soon the bunker is on an earthquake. In the blare, they cover their ears with their hands and fall to the ground. After a while, when it calms down, they are surprised to see the lights on, and the creepy is gone. But they don't think he died. Paulina feels something wrong. When she opens the door, she finds food cans neatly sorted on the shelf. They want to get out of here, but the exit is sealed. Searching around, they're surprised to see the place turns on a brand new look. The barracks look entirely different from the disrepair before the earthquake. Then, they run into a Japanese captain. He points his pistol at them and asks how they got in here. Tyler tells him they came from the entrance. The excited captain says there's no way out once they come in. Then he shoots himself dead. There's no time to wonder why he committed suicide. They must find a way out. Soon they find a wireless telephone. Tyler, who can speak Japanese, tries to communicate. But what he hears scares him a lot, because on the other side of the phone, someone tells Tyler to kill Paulina. The angry mustache loses his temper, shouting they shouldn't have come inside. The cameraman who picked up the doll hears someone whispering to him. The guide picks up another doll from the soldier. Then at the corner he finds his mother, who died many years ago. Under her summoning, he thrusts the sword into his throat. Thinking the guide must be hiding somewhere in fear, the others go on searching for an exit. On yet another level below, they find a primitive cave, which is apparently not the Japanese barracks. The cameraman recognizes it is the tomb of the ancient tribal chiefs. On the wall, there are inlaid cursing dolls, who bear the souls of the chiefs and their brides. So all the dolls are in pair. The curse comes into force once a pair is separated. It's revealed that the man whose face was ripped off was one of the Spanish colonists who intruded and slaughtered the Aborigines. As a punishment, the wizard sealed him into this cave and separated a pair of dolls so as to produce a forceful curse on the invader. The cameraman says the Spanish may still be alive. While the others look at the murals on the wall, the cameraman suddenly sees a woman. Scared by her terrible figure, the cameraman falls to the ground. When they help him lie in bed, the disfigured woman is gone. He tells Paulina the curse is true, but they keep on searching. The angry mustache finds an office room with everything neatly sorted, but it is the same room they entered a moment ago. Before the earthquake, it was in a total mess. As they wonder how that could be possible, it was so rearranged. The guide comes in, all bleeding. Before he leaves, he throws some words they don't understand. Again, the cameraman who lies in bed sees the strange-shaped woman crawling toward him, but it's just his illusion. This woman is his sister, who died many years ago in an accident, which the cameraman thought his fault. He believes she was wanting his life. In fact, it is just the doll's curse. The doll he picked is a female one. The cameraman believes maybe it'll invalidate the curse, if they can find the male one and put them together. That male doll perhaps is the one the guide picked up from the suicide Japanese captain. Paulina leaves the cameraman to look for Tyler and the angry mustache. While the angry mustache runs into the bleeding guide again, Paulina encounters her late son, who turns into a fierce monster in a second, but it is just her illusion. She tells Tyler her son was drowned 6 years ago, when she was absent-minded, for which she has been blaming herself all the time. The angry mustache comes to join them. Together they read and analyze the diary, which they found from the suicide captain. He was a captain during the Second World War. One day, he saw a soldier dug out a male doll inlaid on the wall. After that, however, the soldier became mad. It turns out the tunnel the mad soldier dug led them to the tribal chief's tomb. There, they saw a monster, who was the cursed Spanish invader. All these were written down in the captain's diary. Then the soldiers found themselves stuck inside the cave without a way out. In despair, the captain killed the mad soldier, and shot all the other soldiers one by one. When only the captain was left alive, unable to bear the torture of the curse, he shot himself, but he came back to life again due to the curse. The rest then realizes that the cameraman is seemingly killed by his sister, but it was just his illusion. In fact, he killed himself instead. Paulina and Tyler think all these incidents must be related to the guide, as he is a native and knows many things. So they search for and try to kill him. In a passage, Tyler sees a monster through the camera, but soon it disappears. More monsters manifest and vanish. All of a sudden, the angry mustache shows up out of nowhere and kills Tyler with a sword. He is going to kill them all. When he chases after Paulina, she runs into the cave, where there are cursing dolls inlaid on the wall. There she meets the guide, who is terribly bleeding. He tells her the Spanish invader, who was cursed by the wizard 300 years ago, has since been stuck in the cave and suffered the endless torture. The curse will continue to fall on every intruder unless the pair of dolls are reunited. Since the curse is now working on the guide, Paulina gives him the female doll. The two dolls match, and the guide is ready to recite the spell to break the curse. But when the angry mustache suddenly bashes him with a stick, the guide, who is in a rage, then recites the spell, Never Forgive, and breaks the doll into pieces. He fights back, but is overpowered and killed by the angry mustache. Paulina picks up the captain's pistol and points at the angry mustache. Then Tyler, who is still alive, comes to join Paulina. Paulina cries that if the angry mustache had not killed the guide, he should have broken the curse. In rage, she then fires at the angry mustache. Shortly after, however, Tyler shoots Paulina dead, before Tyler himself dies of too much bleeding, leaving his last words to the angry mustache that he will be a loser if he is alive, for he will be stuck in here all alone for another 70 years. The angry mustache soon is shocked, but happy to find his wound all gone. When he watches the cameraman's video, he finds that Paulina's corpse is the same as the odd one they saw when they first came inside. And the creepy walking skeleton they saw had the same tattoo as his on the arm. Then, the angry mustache is horrified to realize that the creepy walking skeleton was nobody but himself. The curse has a reincarnation loop of 70 years, which will be reset by the sudden earthquake. Anyone who is alive will be stuck in the loop forever. In fact, the neatly sorted room right after the earthquake implies that the group are all brought to the very beginning of the loop. What's more, that Japanese captain who happened to meet the group happily committed suicide so as to release himself from the endless curse. Therefore, 70 years later, the angry mustache will become the same creepy walking skeleton, and tell the newly coming mustache, "You must die." The intruders will be tortured in loneliness, in the cursed Gehenna round and round. In the final scene, seeing a group of new people comes inside finally. The old mustache can't feel more excited than that. So he walks close to them, trying to welcome his new mustache. However, he just scares the mustache out of the angry mustache's face. He's then pushed to the ground, dying, while the arriving group just stare at his skeleton body, out of curiosity and fear. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Bye.